Do you see here? Hi guys and gals. Oh wow, battery level's low. Well, I'll try and hurry up then. Oh, just got back from a very interesting conference, and as you notice, I'm still wearing part of the corporate armor. I didn't have the full corporate armor because I wasn't wearing a tie today thanks to the heat. Oh, the last bit of the conference was a keynote lecture from somebody from Logitech. Probably you know the company that at the time developed the mouse and a lot of those things like keyboards, webcams, and so on. And it was interesting because they were explaining about how the company went through a whole phase of being like, man, the company, like almost the Apple-like company, to a company that almost went bankrupt for lack of innovation, and to a company now who's got the ball back and is really going well because they've learned how to go with design and listen to what people want instead of just trying to make money. Well, that was his talk, when of course, he was selling his salad, as they would say over here, but it was an interesting thing. Yeah, so I was thinking when I was listening to that, though, is that it just shows how quickly fortunes can change. You can go from being top dog to being at the bottom of the heap, and basically part of the part of the things that you're burning in the dump, in the garbage heap. Not too long, and very often not that many years ago. I think, if I remember looking at the years, it was something like probably a 20, I don't know, from like a 20-year period, I guess, from like the top down to the bottom, and now they're coming back in the meantime, so it's a little bit more than 20 years. But that's, what would you say, that's the time of a generation, I guess. And that is very often the case, isn't it? That in a generation, things change. Look at the way things are since most of us have been online. Maybe I shouldn't even say completely online, because online I started probably in the 90s. But we take like the YouTube period and so on. Most of us are talking like between 6, 7, 8 years max. And how much has changed in that period? I guess it comes out to adapt or die. That was one way of looking at it. Or evolve, to use probably a language that's not friendly to everybody. But I think that is it. It's be open to your environment. There's things you're not going to be able to change. And what you're not going to be able to change, live with it. You have no choice but to live with it. Or move to another planet, or move to another world, and get out simply of the network where you're in. And that brings me to something that I've been realizing, which is probably something will have to be on another vlog, because, time permits, maybe I will, but I don't believe I will let myself into that. But the fact is by not adapting, by not evolving, and cutting yourself off from those core networks, things that were nurturing you. Now, if you're a company, you'll go bust. If you're people, you will either burn out or you'll go bust in one way or another. Now, we can go into discussions here talking about, how much should you evolve if it means changing your core person. And I think that there we get into a discussion which, if you have core values which you do not want to change, if you cannot adapt them to the situation, and you know that those are core values that are you, then you've got to move on. I would accept that. But otherwise, it probably is really much a thing of adapt. You can change yourself, and if you're not violating something that's core to your person, yeah, move on, and maybe you can become a better person. Now, you've probably noticed I have not purposely gone into, well, I will just a little second, but I didn't go into talking about religion, philosophy, theology, but I could. But I won't, because I know that it is not everybody's bag. So I'll try and keep it in a general sense, and you can feed into it what you want. Okay, now I want to go get a beer, I think, and pull off this corporate armor and get into shorts and t-shirts. Okay, DC signing off. Take care. Bye, everybody.